knows what images I've kind of approved, where the review of mine is pending, and what is regenerated and awaiting review, right? So basis that, it's given me this really cool breakdown of sorts, basis the shot and which scene it's in, which is really cool and helpful to me. And I can just go through it and kind of start approving things. So I think this will be also really useful, and that's why I do it act by act, because there'll be so much more to go through. If you're doing a longer film, break it down into chunks, right, and see where everything is landing. Or else you kind of get lost in the length and the massive sea of images that you generate. So just finish one chunk and then move on to the next. Finish one chunk and move on to the next. That's the best way to do it. You can always follow your own process if you want. Okay, so we last left at where we were creating all the storyboard images for Act 1, and I was doing some iterations on the images. I wanted to add some images that were not kind of in the script that I had written. So I worked on that. I chatted with the agent, like you can see over here. Just told it, we'll do a quick recap. So I had my short list over here, and it gave me a full breakdown of what's pending, what's been locked, what needs reviews, right? And post that, I kept iterating with it. I felt like I need some more shots because, you know, the more you think about it, the more the script evolves, changes and changes. So the agent helped me through that quite well. Interesting thing that I want to point out over here is that if you want to make like very minute changes, sometimes it's better to just do it on your own. For example, like I wanted to make like a close-up shot of the clock. I had the wide shot of the platform, but I wanted like a close-up of the same exact clock. Now, you know, it's a little difficult to get the close-up of the same exact thing in an image. If you attach the wrong images to it, or if you're over-prompting, you'll get something completely different, right? So if we scroll down a bit over here, you'll see that I got an other image compared to the clock that is here. So this is the clock that ultimately I liked in the wide shot. And I just wanted a close-up of the shot, right? Obviously, I wanted one when the professor leaves for the college, and I wanted one when he returns from college, because I'm doing a part in Act 1 when he returns, he meets Hachiko, right? So both these clocks were not working for me because they were kind of different from the clock that's in the wide shot that I've chosen. So that kind of breaks continuity. So what I did was I just closed the notebook, and I'd seen what the agent had generated. You can see the prompt over here, you can see the attachment. So all I did was I closed this agent tab. I went to the place where the agent had prompted the clock for me. So I think it was this one. All I did was reuse the prompt, go to the manual prompter. Now you can see the agent had also put an other clock's reference into the prompt. Now this is because in the beginning I kind of had locked an other kind of clock. So while the agent remembered that and used that, it was my mistake. So I needed to remove it from the references attached to the Nano Banana prompt. So all I did was remove this attachment, and then it just generated the right clock over here, as you can see. So that's great, right? Like, so I always say that if you want to do like quick close-ups or something that's in a wide shot and you just want to zoom into it, you can tell the agent to just write you a prompt quickly. So you can just take that image, reprompt it, and change the prompt. Like, I want a close-up of this shot, I want a close-up of the clock, I want a close-up of the professor's expression in this image. That's just faster for you to do, right? Like, it just helps my process to like just take manual control for a little bit and then go back to the agent and start talking again. So yeah, that was one interesting piece of information that I had, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Now we'll go back to the agent. Once I created that image though, I wanted to also lock that with the agent, because the agent would possibly not know that I've taken manual control and created that image. So all I did was, when it was doing the review of the images that we had, I would go and just tell it that for the clock, I want the close-up at image 40.2. Right? So now that's logged into the logbook that the agent has created for the shot breakdown. And now it'll remember that this is the shot that I want for that particular moment. So yeah, so now the agent believes that Act 1 is kind of done. And I think I'm just going to work on it a little bit and iterate it on a little bit more so that it's in a place where I like it. And then we'll move on from there. Now the agent is asking me to go into the video stage of Act 1, because in the beginning I told it I want to go act by act. So I want to finish storyboard, and then I want to finish the videos of that storyboard specifically for Act 1, so it remembers, and that's why it's asking me, should we start making the videos? Now I also usually create an other agent over here. So this is the part where you can create multiple agents, right? So what I do is I always create a seed dance prompting agent. All right, so now you can see that the seed dance 2.0 prompter agent is ready. Now, why do I do this? The reason is that, again, sometimes I want manual control in terms of I want to prompt seed dance, but that's just me at times. So what I tell the agent is to do a thorough research on how to prompt it. It'll look online for the best guides on how to prompt seed dance, the way it uses start frame, end frame, reference to video, and any other ways or tricks and tips that are there online. If you already have a set guide on how to prompt seed dance, a link or a PDF that maybe you've created or a document where you've used your prompts previously, you can just upload that and you can tell it to learn how you prompt it, and the agent will catch on, and then it'll just continue recreating the prompts based on your template and the way you structure your prompt for seed dance, and then it can take control and create your videos from there. So it's quite interesting for me because I like to chat with the agent and kind of jam with it in terms of what each shot or what mini sequence that I need and what are the beats of those sequence. So I want to talk to it in natural language, and then it comes up with the prompt, which is the best way to kind of move seed dance to give you the output that you require. So I'm technically not actually prompting it. I'm giving it direction in terms of what I need in the scene, and then it comes up with the prompt to fulfill that direction that I've given it. Reference to video is one of my favorite ways to go with seed dance because it's just so good at keeping character consistency and fidelity while also creating like multi-shot videos, right? Like it's amazing. So I usually love to use reference to video more than anything. Okay, so I gave it exactly what I needed. I just wanted to do a test before we get into the video generation so that the agent again is with me in terms of how I want to go about the process of video generation. You don't have to do this, but this is a part of my process which I usually always follow because I want to make sure the agent follows the same method that I follow, and I want to use it like as an assistant. So now, after having the conversation with it and telling it exactly what I need in my prompt, what type of generation I want, like do I want reference to video, do I want image to video, after having that conversation, it came up with a prompt along with adding what images it'll be using, like the character references, so 2 images for that, for the 2 characters, and the home interiors reference also, so that we know exactly where the location is, right? Because we don't want it to come up with a different kind of location because we had locked it in the storyboard. So now it's come up with the prompt, and I told it like, let's run it and see the results. Run 2 generations of the same prompt because obviously in one generation you can never exactly judge because at the end of the day they are AI video models and you will get varied results for the same prompt. So I always like to run like 2 or usually 4 also, depending on how fast I want to fly with it. So now I got 2 results. Let's check them out. I've got this one. Both of them have the beats that I had put in. This shows like a little bit of bonding between the 2 fun moments like you encounter during the day. So yeah, so I think it did a pretty good job. So now what I'm going to try and do is basis all the storyboard shots that we had. I'm going to tell it to think in the same way. So I'm going to tell it like how I defined the beats in this shot. There have to be defined beats in those shots too. I'm sure it'll do a lot of the work for me, and I'll interject wherever I feel like I need some more nuanced feelings. So I'll take control again whenever I feel like I have to interject. First, I'll just let it create like a baseline of shots so I can build off of that as a structure. So let's see where this goes. So I asked it what is its plan for the next shots once we had locked down on the way it's prompting the images to get the videos. And it's come up with a generation plan that I need. It's also marked this as done because we completed it and that was the first test, right? However, we can iterate on that, but I think I can just tell it to start creating the videos, and from there I can build off that. So let's just see where it's at. I want to skip this first shot, so I'll just... Okay, so we'll just sit back and wait until the generations are done by the agent. And streamlined basis the story that I need and the way I want to show it. So I might have changes on that, but until then, I'm going to go back to my animation film director agent and I will ask it. Okay, so it's creating the shortlist that we need. My document that I had shared in the beginning that I had told you guys about, it does have not detailed but a moderately detailed breakdown. So I want the agent to go through it again and compile it, and then I want to see it once. And in case I want to add things in the middle of it, I can add those. I can jam with the agent, and then I'll go to the next step, which is basically generating the storyboard for Act 2. Same process that we had for Act 1, I'm going to follow it for Act 2. Meanwhile, my seat dance prompter agent is ready. So in case anything is missing over here, I can ask it to regenerate that. Okay, so some cool insights are obviously the models have limitations, right? We know that. And the agent also kind of knows that. So here it's telling me that both the ears are upright. I think we can take some creative liberties over here. Let's see if that comes across in all shots, or obviously he can perk his ears up in certain shots. That's fine. We had asked it to give the shot breakdown, so it's given me a very detailed scene by scene shot breakdown that is needed. So yeah, there's a lot to go through. So I'm going to go through that and figure things out on what's needed and what's not, and then I'll get back to telling the agent to start generating. Okay, so we've completed most of our video generations and it's looking quite cool. What I realized towards the tail end is that I don't have a title card slate, which basically means that I want the name of my short film to appear, right? Like the title sequence, like what is this about? So what I did is I went that I wanted the camera to start on this wall with photos of the professor and Hachiko, and then there's a gap in the center of those photos so that my title text, the title of the film, can fade in or animate in over there. And then I wanted the camera to kind of pan towards the right, where we see the professor and Hachiko kind of getting ready to go to the station. Hachiko is fooling around, jumping around the professor because he's excited. It's his daily routine. And then they leave, and then the sequence continues to the other shots. So I wanted to make this sequence, which I had not accounted for in the beginning, right? So I just started talking to the agent and told it exactly what I want, and then it started creating the frame. I gave a direction in terms of what I want, what the camera movements are, and what the actions are, and it kind of did it. So I'll just jam with the agent a little more to like perfect it a little bit, and then hopefully I'll go to the edit. So finally we are done with the title sequence shot also. I think I have most of my shots ready for the edit, so I'm going to take it into the edit software. It could be any software that you really love. It can be DaVinci, Adobe, whatever you like to do your edits, honestly. So I'm going to go there, I'm going to put my film together. In case there are some bits that I feel are missing or that aren't working, I'm going to fix that in the edit, generate some more with the agent, and then going to finally output my final film.